current-day Simpsons is a limping, damaged animal. The Simpsons of yore, however, featured hilarious jokes, brilliant writing and visual gags, and will continue to stand the test of time. But even with more than 600 episodes in the bag and daily screenings in multiple countries, there are still secrets to be uncovered. I'm Ben from What Culture, and here are 10 hidden jokes everybody missed in The Simpsons. Number 10. There's an actual McBain movie hidden throughout the show. Rainier Wolf Castle pops up throughout The Simpsons as Springfield's answer to Arnold Schwarzenegger, with early seasons showing clips of his McBain movies. On first sight, they look like your everyday cliched 80s actioners with recognizable tropes and stereotypes, but there's actually something more to them. If you take all the various McBain clips and rearrange them in order, you'll find that they actually form a mini-movie complete with a coherent plot. The resulting film sees McBain clashing with his captain over Mendoza, his partner being killed by an assassin, him telling his captain that he's going after Mendoza regardless of the consequences, getting captured but then escaping, and finally, killing him. Nice. Number 9. The numbers on the Jumbo Vision screen actually mean something. In the episode Marge and Homer Turn a Couple Play, there's a short sequence in which a poll is taken at the Springfield Stadium about the attendance numbers, and the answers are displayed on the massive Jumbo Vision screen. At first glance, the three numbers displayed, 8191, 8128, and 8208, seem meaningless, but it turns out they're actually an Easter egg for maths fans in homage to showrunner Al Jean being a maths graduate of Harvard. The first is a perfect number, the second is a narcissistic number, and the third is a Mersenne prime, Mersenne. I don't know what that means. Number 8. Mr. Burns' telephone greeting is actually the original hello. Amongst Mr. Burns' many peculiarities, one of his most well-known quirks is his weird greeting whenever he answers the phone. Ahoy hoy. When Alexander Graham Bell allegedly invented the telephone, we're on to you, Al, he recommended that ahoy hoy should be the greeting people use when answering a call. Obviously that didn't catch on, because it's bloody stupid. Number 7. The writer who uncovered the truth about Whacking Day also uncovered the truth about Watergate. As the writers developed the rich history of Springfield's annual Whacking Day, they couldn't resist slipping in a dig at former President Nixon. The episode shows file footage of Nixon utterly failing at whacking a snake and the crowd booing at his pitiful effort. But going even deeper in the episode's subplot, Bart is homeschooled and is seen reading a book titled The Truth About Whacking Day, written by Bob Woodward. If you don't know, Bob Woodward was one of the journalists who uncovered the Watergate scandal and helped expose the president. Number 6. A split-second dig at former VP Dan Quayle. During the first few years of The Simpsons being on air, there was quite a long-standing feud between the Bushes and The Simpsons writers. First, Barbara Bush dissed the show, and then President George H.W. Bush famously followed suit during one of his campaign speeches. The writers didn't pull any punches either, and after all the jokes about Bush, they managed to put a cherry on top of it all with a split-second dig at Bush's vice president, Dan Quayle. During the scene where Bart accidentally shreds Bush's memoirs, a piece of paper flies across the screen with the words VP Quayle Embarrassment, reflecting the general public consensus that he was a poor VP. Number 5. Homer channels Johnny Carson when he eats some prized potato chips. During the Great Aunt Gladys's will video in the episode Selma's Choice, she leaves Marge a series of potato chips that look like celebrities and other famous people, only for Homer to nonchalantly munch through them before the video ends. As funny as the gag is, it actually references a Johnny Carson prank he once pulled on a guest. During an episode of The Tonight Show in the 80s, a wacky crisp lady was a guest with her collection of potato chips shaped like numbers and animals. Carson took it upon himself to mess with her a bit, so when the chip lady turned her head for a second, Carson reached for a hidden bowl of chips and loudly ate one, to her absolute horror. Number 4. Seymour Skinner is really Jean Valjean. Everyone knows the story of Principal Seymour Skinner. He's a bit of a pushover, he's a Vietnam vet, and he's a pretty rubbish principal. Apparently, he is also actually the Simpsons equivalent of Jean Valjean from Les Miserables. The seeds are planted in the episode Homer's Barbershop Quartet, when Skinner finds his old POW helmet, and it's revealed that his prisoner number is 24601, the same as Valjean's. And the payoff comes during a later episode, The Principal and the Pauper, where Skinner's true identity is revealed. Turns out he was a former lowlife who stole the real Seymour Skinner's identity before working his way up to a respectable position in society. Basically, the same plot as Les Mis. Number 3. The location of The Simpsons' most famous writer is revealed. Many fan-favorite episodes, such as Brother, Can You Spare Two Dimes and Krusty Gets Cancelled, have one thing in common. They were all written by the prolific John Swartzwelder. He should be well known, but he's a notorious recluse, turning down interviews and inspiring theories that he doesn't, in fact, exist. Thanks to the mythology that had been built up, the other Simpsons writers decided to lampshade Swartzwelder's existence in the episode Hurricane Neddy. When the Simpsons visit Ned Flanders at a mental institution, a paranoid man with long hair and a mustache is briefly seen. This is the animated likeness of Swartzwelder. Plus, at the end of the episode, when Flanders is released to an adoring crowd, someone is holding a Free John Swartzwelder sign. Number 2. Math jokes are everywhere in 3D land. One of the more memorable Treehouse of Horror bits is the ambitious 3D-generated segment where Homer somehow finds himself in a whole new dimension. As you might expect from a room filled with mathematics nerds, the writers decided to stuff as many maths jokes in this new 3D environment as possible. As Homer is exploring his new surroundings, he walks past a string of hexadecimal numbers, which, when converted to ASC2, I'm told, spells out Frink rules. Also, when Homer's walking around, an equation passes behind him that appears to disprove Fermat's last theorem. But should that equation be put into a scientific calculator, you'll find the theorem still holds and that the equation is off by a minuscule 0.00000004. So there. God, maths is boring. I suppose you could call it a shit subject that should just be left at school for whackers. Hashtag shit subject that should just be left at school for whackers. Number 1. Homer nearly solves Fermat's last theorem. Oh, for God's sake, it's more maths. In The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, Homer realizes that he's done nothing great in his life and suffers a midlife crisis, only to find the inspiration to become an inventor. During the montage where Homer is inventing in his basement, you would have seen a load of random numbers, letters, and symbols scribbled on a blackboard. You would have also noticed that Homer had written an equation. Maths nerds will have noticed that again refers to Fermat's last theorem. If you plug that equation into a scientific calculator, you'll find that the left side of the equation is only 0.000000002 maybe percent larger than the right side, which is even smaller than the answer in the previous entry. So basically, despite the crayon in his head, his excessive drinking, and the numerous blows to the head, Homer Simpson nearly solved a 400-plus-year-old mathematics theorem. And that's our list. Are there any other hidden Simpsons jokes we missed off? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can even follow me here on Twitter if you fancy. I'm Ben from What Culture, and thanks for watching.